Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Candicoatedsecrets. I am your host, Miss Vibrations. You know, your hostess with the mostest. Give me 100 thumbs up as soon as you get in here and share the show for me, okay? Tonight we're going to get into some things. And, you know, sharing is caring, all right? So, you know, I'm going to do my little sherry thing and tag and just come on in and say hi and let me know how you're doing tonight. What's new with you? What's not new? Look, and it worked. I'm super excited. I'm super excited because it worked. Hold on, let me share it to the group. You know, I got to share the show to the group. And when you come in, you can just share the show too. Share it for me, you know, to let everybody know that I'm on, you're on. When I'm on, you're on. Today is Wednesday. All right, hold on. All right, I got it. Got it right there. Boom, pinning it. And give me some hearts and thumbs up when you get in here. Say hello to me. It's Wednesday. The rain is finally leaving. Okay, I'm done. The rain is finally leaving. So I think that is a good thing, right? Nobody likes the rain. I know I didn't like the rain today, but all right, I got it. So yeah, I can see y'all as y'all come on up in here. So say hi, give me some heart and thumbs up so I can see when you get here, you know, to let me know I'm not by myself. I'm going to come into drink me a little drinky drink, and we're going to get into some things and get straight into it. All right, so tonight, you know, I just wanted to discuss how fear, you know, and what fear can do and how fear leaves us paralyzed. Fear leaves us stuck. Fear just hinders us and blocks us from, you know, all the good things that come to us out of life. Amen. And so I wanted to talk tonight about fear and how fear is hey Carlos, how fear is a 4-letter word that we give so much power, and then we don't even know that we're giving fear all of the power. And every day we're living in fear and using this little 4-letter word to determine every decision, to determine not being forgiven, showing forgiveness, not being forgiveness. You just using this word. So I broke it down and I was like, you know what? Fear is a 4-letter word. It's a 4-letter word that everyone deals with. We all deal with throughout the day, throughout life, in every experience, whether it's work, relationship, friendships. But where fear shows up the most for a lot of us are in relationships. So fear shows up the most in relationships. And, you know, people don't even know that a lot of the times. So it's a 4-letter word that has so many meanings attached to it. So many meanings attached to it. And like I said, it hinders us from the true freedom of what we all came here to have and what we all possess, right? Everybody wants to be free. So here it is. I'm going to give you some talking points that I got so I can go ahead and make my point with that. So fear is the master of confusion. Fear is the gatekeeper to self-sabotaging. And when you stay in the state of mind of fear, you are hindering yourself from so many good things that you deserve, right? Let me get into this because I'm going to get my notes so I can make it because I know. Y'all keeping up? Give me a thumbs up if you keeping up with the keeping up. All right. So, with that being said, by fear keeping us stuck in all these situations and in relationships, like, you know, fear is the opposite of love. Love is not fearful. Love is not desperate. Love is not spiteful, vengeful, vindictive. Love is not those things. But with fear, when you include fear in it, fear allows all of those things to partake in the relationships. So a lot of the times that, you know, when you're in a relationship, you'll replace fear. Well, no, pause. When you're in a relationship, you will replace fear with love. Like, you won't even be able to recognize that that love is long gone out of the relationship and that you've replaced it with fear. So I always say, you know, fear for me is like forgetting the evidence, you know, against release. So that's what I like when I think about fear, when I get into a fearful moment, or, you know, if I'm having like a fearful thought. So I was like, you know what, this would be great to, you know, bring and let you guys know, let you guys in on it and all of those things. So you can remember, like, you know, forgetting the evidence against release, you know, everything that you'll have straight in front of you, telling you, you know, not to go, not to push the button, not to continue, you know, with any situation, but fear will be wrapped up in it and we'll allow that. So when you allow fear in, and because if fear is the, hey May, if fear is the gatekeeper to self-sabotage, right? And when you stay in that state of mind of fear and it shows up, it shows up in many forms. And people get confused because fear shows up in a form of love sometimes. And that's because a lot of us haven't seen what a healthy, loving relationship looks like. So because we don't know what it looks like, that everything that it's not, it appears to us that it seems to be love, but it's really being moved with fear, right? So in a lot of relationships where there's a lot of turmoil, only you know the history of your relationship. Only you know the history of your life. I always say all the time, you know your story, history, his story. You know your story. Only you know your story, right? So if that is the case, right, if love is long gone out of a relationship, fear is always very visible, but we will choose to forget what, like I said, forgetting the evidence, what we know, what is the history of the relationship, the things that you've been through, the things that you've overcame, the situations that, came up and have gone, anything, staying in situations against your better judgment, knowing that you don't want somebody that's going to hurt your feelings. You don't want to be with somebody that's abusive. You don't want to be with someone that, is abusing your children. You don't want to be with someone that mistreats you. You don't want to be with someone who has a discipline problem or they're cheating all the time. So all of that, you're still going against everything that you truly want for yourself at the core, even though you know what it looks like. So you're choosing to forget the evidence. You're choosing to forget the evidence and against the release. So when you step back and you're able to look at it as a whole, right? Let me know if you're keeping up. Give me all the thumbs up. When you're looking at it and you're sitting back and you're looking at it as a whole, you'll forget that. Because we all don't like to face reality. And when you don't want to face reality makes you forget a lot of stuff. So you choose to forget. Just like if you ignore bills and stuff thinking they're going to go away. They're not going away. They're going to keep showing up every month. The people going to keep sending them notices every single month, right? So what happens is, in relationships, when we stay in relationships and we say, oh, well, this person will change, or this, I seen some change here, or maybe things could be a little different here. It's like, you're choosing to forget the painful memories where the evidence is, which is present to show you that this relationship is no longer serving you and what you need it to do. And instead of releasing it, which is when you release it, you get joy and peace on the other side of that. But because fear makes you trapped and keeps you trapped, because the fear of the unknown and not knowing what it's going to look like, not knowing if you're going to be able to overcome it, not knowing how you're going to be able to move forward at the new job, in the new relationship, or just letting go anything. Fear is the four-letter word that controls our entire existence. And people don't even like to pay attention to that. So fear also goes with forgiveness. Keeping up? Hey, y'all, I see y'all as y'all coming in, right? So fear also, as much and as nice as forgiveness is such a great word, so much beliefs come with forgiveness. Like forgiveness is never for the other person. It's always about you. But because forgiveness has fear trapped in it, that people don't even want to forgive, because we feel that if we forgive, that means that you're okaying what the person did wrong to you. Hey, Keith's Journey girl. You feel like that if you forgive someone that you feel like has wronged you, that means that the person wasn't wrong and you're just accepting what they did. You're accepting what they said. You're accepting how you were being treated, when in all actuality, that's not true. So that's why so many people don't even want to forgive anybody, and we don't know this stuff, but you got to do the work. You got to put the work in and just be better and do better and just keep striving, because fear and forgiveness go together, but both of them can't exist. Woo. You hear that? Fear and forgiveness both cannot exist at the same time. Hey, Shawnees, I couldn't go live on Instagram tonight. I don't know where, but I couldn't go live on Instagram tonight. But what happens is when you're about to choose to forgive somebody, what shows up? Ego. So fear brings up the ego, and the ego turns into, oh, I'm not about to forgive you. Oh, you think it was okay to get away with that? Oh, so I'm just accepting any fucking thing that you're choosing to give and you're choosing to send my way. You know what I'm saying? So forgiveness, you'll even be trapped in the non-forgiving and not wanting to forgive, not knowing that the whole time it's the fear of forgiving. Because if I accept this forgiveness, and I'm okay with that and I accept your forgiveness, then that must means that somewhere I approve the shit that you did. So I don't want to. So we then think that holding on to the anger and being resentful and nasty or just being mad with the other person, we think that that's doing some justice to us, justice to them. Oh, I'm still mad with them and they're going to know I'm mad, and I'm going to make them know that they know that I'm mad, because they need to know that I'm mad, because if I'm mad, we all going to be mad. When really the only person that's really mad and hindering and hurting is you. Ooh, I feel like that was a lot. Keeping up? So when you stay trapped in that and you don't want to, forgive, you are blocking your own blessings, which is really letting the enemy know that he won. Which is really letting the enemy know that he won, because you're choosing not to forgive. So because I don't want to forgive you, I feel like that I'm doing you some type of justice by not forgiving you, when really that's not even it at all. You're blocking your own blessings, because what did I say earlier? Fear, forgetting evidence against release. Once you release it, joy cometh in the morning. Once you let it go, your peace of mind comes. Think about so many things. Give me a heart and thumbs up. Let me know that you guys are here. And also, if you're just joining, head on over to Candicoatedsecrets Facebook group. Candicoatedsecrets Talk Show, live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. All right, now back to me. All right, I'm back. So, you gotta know these things, right? So I said fear. Whenever I think about it now, fear is forgetting evidence against release. So it's like, I know what the situation looks like. Like, what the relationship is going to look like, because you're already in the relationship. So you know what it looks like. So by the fact that I know what it looks like, that is supplying me with what? The evidence. Okay, the fact that I'm staying in a situation that's no longer serving me, or something that I don't want to be in, or I'm just going against my will. Like, you ever have a feeling like, oh, I don't want to go to the party, and then you go to the party, and then you find out there was a reason why you didn't want to go to the party. You went against yourself, which we go against ourselves all the time. You get what I'm saying? So then the release, once you release it, accept it, release it, then, oh my God, the peace of mind come. You ain't even thinking about the stuff that you thought about. Gates and doors are opening up, and all these things in heaven is like raining down on you. So this is why forgiveness and fear, they both can exist. If you want to get better and you want to do better, make sure that you are, like I said, this is the season. We're about to go into 2023. We not matching energies over here. We are shifting chakras. Whew. Are you with me? Give me a heart and thumbs up. We are shifting chakras, okay? So forgiveness is important, because whenever you're choosing not to forgive, just know that you are choosing fear instead. You're choosing fear instead. So I like to look at I like to look at fear in a different point of forgiving everyone, accepting responsibility. Whoo. Come on now. Okay? When you remove fear, and we get to a stage where we're able to remove fear out of everything, forgiving. Thank you, Shawnee. Shawnee spoke to us. Forgiving everyone, accepting responsibility. When you forgive yourself for the experience that you are allowing yourself to experience, you do a lot. When you forgive the other people who you feel may have wronged you, or don't want to fess up to whatever it is they have done, you are moving mountains. Because before anything, whenever you aren't able to forgive someone else, you are crucifying yourself. When you can't forgive somebody else, you're crucifying yourself. That's it. That's all. You're choosing to live in your own chaos. You're choosing to stay in your own turmoil. You're choosing to stay in your pain. And that's why I said earlier, fear is the 4-letter word that we give so much power that we don't even recognize controls our lives in every aspect. I don't know about y'all, but when I had to sit back and I had to think about that, I said, damn, I don't think I want to be fearful about anything. you know, especially in relationships like we want to do. We think staying, we think staying is, hold on. Because there's a confusion there. Because so many of us think that love is pain and pain is love because we saw that growing up. You know, everybody, you know, now we'll say, oh, we want to stay together for the children, or we want to say, them babies going to grow up. Okay. But it's like I said earlier, it's that fear of not knowing what it's going to look like, the fear of not knowing how it's going to be. That is what's keeping you stuck in any and everything, and not forgiving anybody for something they've done and placing the blame on somebody else. All you're doing is just forgetting about you, because it's always you, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Everybody comes into your life to teach you something, a reason to season. It's not your fault if they don't catch it. Just as well as you meant something to them and they mean something to you, you better believe if you're able to sit and you're able to get the lesson out of it and you're able to understand it, then you are doing something. Because everybody's just going from person to person, passing on a bunch of trauma, chaos, unforgiveness, bondage, and don't even know what's going on. When the whole time, it's fear running your whole damn life. Now tell me, ain't that something? Ain't that something? Listen. Let me go to the comments. Shanice said, can you go into different ways to forgive, different methods? Because I think that we don't necessarily understand that there is no one way to forgive, and forgiveness and tolerance is not the same. I think people see them as the same. Yeah, I believe so too. I know I got me late waiting on Instagram. I'm sorry. And you're not accepting the person or the behavior they exhibit towards you. You are forgiving yourself for being in a space of tolerance that went against you, while loving yourself enough to move forward and choose you. That's that. Oh, I love that, because, you know, fear is why we don't choose us, and people don't even know it. It's like, you know, love does not come with a sacrifice. And I think that people get that mixed up too. Love comes with compromising and being able to make little certain sacrifice, but love does not come with you compromising and sacrificing your character of any shape or form. But because, so like I said, so many of us don't know what love looks like the right way, that you're left to fend on your own and listen to your friends and hear their experiences, and you feel, because I'm dealing with all of this foolishness that came in this relationship, that it must mean that we're destined to be together and that we're going to have a happy ending. No, it just means that you're allowing fear to keep you there, because you're choosing to forget evidence against release. You're choosing to not look at the history. You're choosing not to look at what's in front of you in the relationship to see where you're going wrong at. But it's okay though. God damn it. I done had fear run me for a long time. You understand? It's a process. But you have to be willing and wanting to do the work. Because when you're willing and you're wanting to do the work, it becomes easy. It becomes easy to you. It becomes super, super easy. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. Okay? I'm telling you, you just got to you just got to put the work in. You got to release the fear and not be fearful of what it's going to look like. You have to be, hey, Andre, you're going to have to be able to trust the whole process. You got to trust the whole process. No matter which way it go, you got to trust the process. You fuck what it look like. You got to be able to know that this too shall pass, you know. And really believe. You ever notice how people say they believe in God, or they believe in something, or they have so much faith until it's tested and it's put in right in front of them? Next thing you know, you like retreat. Or you keep saying, oh my gosh, God, what are you trying to show me? What do I need to do? What can I do differently? When you want to do better and when you want to be different, you will do different things. You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. That's craziness. In order to be better, in order to be different, you must become somebody you've never been. So that means you're going to have to start changing your character. You're going to have to start getting in alignment. And most importantly, you're going to have to start replacing fear with a bunch of love and pouring that into yourself. Okay? Let me go to the comments. Can you pin your definition of fear so I can write it in my journal? You gave me a good release point. Sure, let me go up here and figure out how to do that, girl. You the one who wrote it. Now I got to find out where to pin it at. All right, I'm going to pin it. You know, so even with that, like, even though that's what I look at as like fear, I also chose to look at it differently. Fear is not just forgetting evidence against release, but it's also forgiving everyone, accepting responsibility. It is so much power in being accountable and accepting things that happened to you, because everything that happened, it came to form you, shape you, grow you, mold you, and to teach you something. It is not your job to worry about if Joe Blow is going to get his karma or her karma back for how she treated you. You are the one that is important. And when we get into relationships with people who talk to us any kind of way or treat us any kind of way, or they're just doing anything, or we're going against our own being of what we want because we want to pour it and call it love, you are going against yourself all the time and saying, I'm willing to be a sacrifice for this person, when you can't control this person. You can put expectations in this person, but then that's when you become disappointed. And you can't be disappointed at them. You can only be disappointed at yourself because you chose to put your faith in a situation and in a person after they showed you the evidence that it ain't even worth it. So you knew it all along. And then you become pissed off Patty, vengeful, vengeful fucking Vincent, or whatever the hell you choose to be. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to remember that and not lose sight of what's important. And the thing is, we forget and we get lost in the memories of what the person brought into your life and how they made you feel. But what now this is a whole nother show. But would you believe me if I told you can get over anybody in 2 weeks? Whoo, I swear you wouldn't believe me. Which is to say, let the Candy Coated Church say amen now. Amen. Yes, give me some hearts and thumbs up. Hearts and thumbs up, and make sure you come on over to Candi Coated Secrets talk show every Wednesday and join the group. But it's possible. Everything only lasts as long as you allow it to. Hey, see, now y'all about to make me jump subjects now. See, now I got to stay focused, girl. Stay focused. Yes, she said 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I'm telling you, 2 weeks. I'm gonna have to talk about it. 2 weeks. You can get over anybody in 2 weeks. Your husband, anything, in 2 weeks. Ask me how I know. The point is, you have to want to put the work in, because when you release it, comes, like I said, joy and everything else. But you got to do the work, though. You got to put the work in. A lot of people don't want to put that work in. A lot of y'all let y'all poom pooms get the thumping and calling nigga on the phone. No. Be still, okay? Freeze the kitty cat. Pump the brakes on it. Pump the brakes. Come back over here and look at the evidence. Look at the evidence. Release it. People, places, and things only have as much power as we give it. So tonight, it just was placed on me to talk about fear and forgiveness, and how we allow fear to run our lives and we don't even know it. Like I said, love could be going out of the relationship a long time ago, but fear is fucking present. Fear is so present. Hey, Scenario Girl. Fear is so present. You understand? And even if you're just joining into the show, Candi Coated Secrets every Wednesday, at 8 o'clock, come join the group, join the show, follow me on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? What you saying? Listen, I'm willing to be a sacrifice for this person is deep. Yeah. Yes. I'm telling you. Come the fuck through, cuz old church finger. You are so irky. Everything only lasts as long as you allow it. It does. I'm telling you. It lasts as long as you allow it. I'm telling you. You can get over a person in 2 weeks. And I'll even tell you how to do it. Whoo! I'm a whole testimony, okay? I'm telling you, by the time you get done, you'll be like, God damn, I ain't love you anyway. I'm telling you, but you got to be able to put the work in, and you have to know what it is, and you have to know what it is, and it's all getting back down to truth. But tonight, we're talking about fear and forgiveness. Release stuff. Release some of that stuff that's causing you nothing but chaos. Release those people. When you think billionaires hang out with people that make freaking $15 an hour. No judgment against any of that because we all got to do it. But I'm just telling you, do you think people who know their worth hang out with people that are worthless? How you know your worth but you putting up with bullshit that ain't worth nothing? I'm telling you. Billionaires is not hanging out with other freaking losers. Or people that's not doing anything. Or people who are not even in sync or on that mental capacity. You know, as you grow, your feelings are going to change. Your friends are going to change. Your experiences are going to change. Everything about you is going to change. Everything about you is going to change. You cannot allow fear to run your life and keep you stagnant and stuck. And have you dealing and placing yourself in situations because you fear the outcome. Because when you fear the outcome, once you start fearing the outcome and fearing everything is when you have now gave fear more power than you gave God. Ooh, don't get me started. Is you here or is you here? You understand? And I pray that, you know, somebody is able to get something from this and you rewatch the footage and you share the show and, you know, even if after the show is no longer live and you watching it, leave the comments. I appreciate everybody. If you're watching after it's over, you can write replay. You can do all of that. But I just wanted to give you guys that to think about, you know. Forgiveness and fear can't coexist. You can't have it. Stop being fearful and start being more trusting and start forgiving yourself for the person, places, and things that you allow to come in and taint your image of love, taint your image of what worthiness is. You know, we give so much of our power to other people. We begin to make people our gods. Ooh, don't get me started. We begin to make people our gods. So that's why when this man walk out the door or when this woman say she don't want to be with you no more, you losing your mind because you're thinking about everything you lost or while of losing sight of how much you've probably gained. Whoo, child. Of how much you gain. You got to change your whole thought process. Change how you look at the word fear. Change how you look at it. Do some forgiveness. Do some forgiveness. Get it together. Oh, well, I did it because I ain't know no better. I ain't going to do it no more. You shouldn't have did it from the beginning because you love me, right? Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Tell a nigga, this too shall pass. I'm telling you. Fear, like Andre said, is the fear of the unknown. It is the fear of the unknown that gets you caught up in a trick bag every single time. Not knowing if you can be able to handle the new position. You'll fear taking the promotion. Not knowing if the girl is going to freaking, you know, take your phone number, be with you. You won't even approach her because you're fearing rejection. Not knowing, you know, if you need to leave the relationship or the marriage because you're fearing the kids is not going to, you're doing more damage than you're doing harm. Leave them and show them something opposite. You know, fear is just constantly controlling and knocking and beating at everyone's door. And like I said, nobody is able to even recognize it because you allow pain and think pain is love and love is pain, and love and pain cannot exist. Just like fear and forgiveness can exist. You got to choose one. And once you know better, you get better, you attract better, you become better. You can't worry about what the next person did. All you can do is worry about what you did. And if they missed out on you becoming the blossoming flower that you are, then they missed out on you becoming the blossoming flower that you are. When people want to walk out your life, you got to let them. Man's rejection is God's protection because you never know what he blocking you from. You know, if I had to see and tell you about one of these dudes that I dealt with one long time ago, I thought it was like the end of the world till I met the nigga fucking 3 years later, and he ended up with more children than he had when I met him. I said, thank you, Jesus, because you know I ain't trying to be nobody's stepmother. So, okay. You got to look at it. You gotta look at it and do some research and some soul searching. It is okay to be by yourself. It is okay to dig deep, and it is okay to not be perfect. But most importantly, before you be out here trying to forgive this woman, forgive this man, forgive your mother, forgive your father, forgive your brother, before all of those people, won't you work on forgiving yourself? And then you tell me how far you got once you chose to release the fear. Once you chose to remove fear completely out of your life. Let me know how you got there and what it did to you. Let me know about that. And I guarantee you, you will see how much strength and how courageous you really are when you stop allowing your mind to be the devil's idle playground. And on that note, thank you guys for watching. I will see you again next week. See ya.